In Nepal, a government-imposed ban on 26 social media apps, including Facebook, WhatsApp, and TikTok, has triggered one of the largest anti-corruption movements the country has seen in years. What started as digital censorship quickly escalated into street protests that ultimately toppled the government. Here's how a social media blackout disrupted more than just communication and why it hit a nerve in Nepal's remittance-dependent economy. The streets of Kathmandu erupted in protest after a sudden ban on popular social media apps. The government said it was to curb misinformation, but for millions of Nepalese, it felt like a crackdown on free speech and a lifeline to the outside world. Social media in Nepal isn't just a pastime, it's a platform for young people to voice frustrations over corruption, unemployment, and the lack of opportunity in a stagnating economy. But more critically, it's how over 8% of Nepal's population working abroad stay in touch with families back home. With more than a third of the country's GDP, 33%, coming from remittances, the ban disrupted more than just conversation. It served vital emotional and financial connections between workers in the Gulf, Malaysia, and India and their loved ones in Nepal. The Center of South Asian Studies claims, and I quote, the demographic shift in Nepal, with over 40% of the population under 40, has amplified the frustration. Young people see no future here, so they leave, and social media is how they stay connected. Taking that away felt like a final insult. Anger also boiled over as images of politicians' children flaunting lavish lifestyles flooded social media. Activists quickly picked up on the hypocrisy, sharing and amplifying it until the government pulled the plug on social platforms altogether. A brewing scandal involving leaders from Nepal's top parties accused of corruption and planning a power sharing deal fueled the fire. For many, the ban seemed like a move to silence critiques and bury the story. The study further says remittances have changed Nepal's economy, bringing families out of poverty but also creating a dangerous dependency. In many rural areas, agriculture is declining, replaced by reliance on money from abroad. A ban on the very apps used to send and discuss that money sent shockwaves through these communities. The World Bank says Nepal's poverty levels have fallen, but job creation hasn't kept up. Manufacturing and exports have stagnated, and tourism remains underdeveloped. Remittances, once seen as a lifeline, now prop up a fragile economy. Remittance is not just money, it's stability. Policies should encourage its flow, but the social media ban sent the opposite signal. By cutting off the digital ties that bind millions of families, the government ignited a movement. What began as outrage over a ban quickly grew into a roar against corruption, inequality, and a broken system. In the end, the ban did not just silence voices, it amplified them. And in a country where digital connections are economic lifelines, the cost of censorship turned out to be political collapse. For a country deeply reliant on its diaspora and digital lifelines, the message was loud and clear. Disconnecting the people comes with serious consequences. For more such explainers, keep watching the Indian Express.